Do you play trading card games? Of course you do. That's why you're listening to/watching this thing. If you want to save money on your trading card purchases, we have a promo link over at 50cards.shop. Enter the promo code ATNIGHT to get 5% off your order. Hey everybody, welcome to Nexus at Night, your weekly Vanguard podcast. I'm wearing a cactus shirt.
I'm in a polo.
I'm eating a popsicle.
What kind of popsicle?
Coconut.
Coconut's pretty divisive. Some people are allowed coconut, but...
Look, it's what I had in my freezer, okay?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like coconut popsicles.
This is going to sound really weird, but I actually like the texture of coconut more than the flavor.
Interesting.
I agree with you on that. That is completely... It's got like almost like a Parmesan-y texture to it, right?
I guess.
We just talk about coconut for half an hour.
Parmesan-y? What does that mean? Anyway,
so like,
I like the texture
kind of
of
rough...
it.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, I like the texture of it. I don't like the flavor of it.
Okay.
It's like the opposite of mushrooms, which I like the flavor of, but don't like the texture of.
Also a good point. Apparently it's because coconut and Parmesan are both grated. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so makes sense.
Fair enough.
So talking about a thing that Riberia tweeted on the Nexus at Night Twitter last week.
Yeah. So apparently, like, all the Craycross cars are just going to be supported via promos now.
Wait, the cross like Ava and stuff?
Hmm?
You mean like Ava and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Like, apparently just all of them.
Okay.
That's mighty unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Wait, so what you're telling me is they actually printed a second research order and then threw it in a promo pack.
Yeah. I think these are shop tournament promos.
Which makes that even worse. If you live out in the sticks somewhere, or just your locals doesn't have enough, or like there are enough people to play Vanguard, but your locals is like, ew, Vanguard. It just doesn't.
Why is it
cherry stuff
that they released a deck that relies on research orders? Print a research order that minuses you one as the only one in the set, just to put the second one as a promo.
I mean, they're going to be doing this for all of the ride lines, apparently. Like, they're all just going to be supported via promos. Like, this Thursday, so tomorrow, from the time that the viewers are hearing this, we're going to be seeing promos for Roa and Chaos.
Okay.
Why do they do this?
So, yeah, they, like, introduced 5 new ride lines for this, like, lore story that they're doing, and then decided that instead of putting them into a set at all, they're just gonna like support them via promos.
I get it in terms of like you don't want to cram too much into a set or whatever, and you only have X number of sets a year. But like, dude,
I like how the. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and also the second experiment order is like good, but. Go ahead, Bolt.
Yeah.
I just have it ready.
What does it do? What does it do?
All right, so this thing is... I love this name. Where this experiment heads into. So, in the order zone, all of your rear guards with Obscudate in its card name cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects. And then in the order zone, if there are 4 or more researches in your order zone, you put this into your soul. Countercharge 1, choose a card with Obscudate in its card name from your drop and add it to your hand. So get a countercharge, soul charge thing in hand. It's good. And it's promo pack only.
Yeah, I mean, this card is...
It's better than the other research order.
Vaguely better, yeah. I think it still kind of is buns, but...
I mean, yeah, kind of, but, like... it is immensely playable by virtue of not being a -1.
I just simply would not play Ava.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
some people like the little
No, that's
Nebula,
not what they like, and you know
Nebula
it.
buns.
That's not what people like, and you know it.
You know that to be true.
But I'm already far past that point.
You
Too
fool.
late.
I mean, I did not SP this one.
I do like how very predictably the rear guard dual cards are more important than their grade 3 bosses for the most part.
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah.
Maple, for example, is just kind of like, just throw it in the deck, whatever.
Although, at
Free
least
unit.
at least with the Gria, like Youthberg has a very similar gimmick going for him, so they can just kind of accidentally support it.
Very nice.
I love when that happens.
Yeah. Because, like, today, they just introduced a card, like, when you ride your Vanguard, when your Vanguard is placed by riding from a grade 3, and obviously this is meant to be supporting, like, the Revolt Dress thing, where you're going to be rewriting your Youthberg forms, but then that also just kind of accidentally works for the Gria, because she has her whole, like, light and dark thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they show a new card that has something plus 5k, I think I lose a year off my life.
Why? Just because it's like so many hoops to jump through for like, 5k.
Why? Like, why are there so many? Like, for a while,
they're so afraid of power creep this time around because they've made that mistake twice now, right? They are taking extra special, cool, careful steps, right? Okay, this supports 2 clans, but it only works real good with one of them, and we keep introducing new ride lines, and like they've had to reboot the game twice, and they do not want to do that again.
Right, but I mean, at what cost?
To their credit, Overdress is a pretty well-balanced format for the most part. Is it fun?
I mean, probably would be without the overtrigger.
Yeah.
What if the overtrigger?
And other things.
But the overtrigger is not going anywhere. I think the overtrigger is just out of spite, like Solemn said, just kind of like it's just going to be here forever.
Yeah.
Just have to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're just going to play 4 of them.
I think I'm at the point now where I play so many decks I just own every overtrigger.
I think I own... Do I own everyone?
I own all except the Cater one.
Oh, I don't own the Brand Gate one because I don't have any Brand Gate cards.
I have Prison.
I mean, you have half of the...
Oh, because of the the guy.
You have half of a Brand Gate card.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The secret agent
that's
guy,
true.
yeah.
I do have half of a Brand Gate card, but it's also a Dark States card, and that's what truly matters.
Yeah. It's because I play more clans in Premium than I do in Standard, so that's enough breadth
I play
of
so
stuff.
much crap in Standard.
Yeah,
I think they're introducing a lot of really interesting ideas, and
leaving them behind.
Yeah, and the meta is diverse, but also has decks that do different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Kyrie.
I think one thing that they've been at, accidental or otherwise, is that for Brandgate, the concept of set orders has been their anchor for supporting stuff, because every archetype in Brandgate uses a set order in some way.
True.
Some support things work better than others, like things that require more things in order zone. It's going to work better for your Gravidias, your Avas, your things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, they came out with how do you pronounce Capaple Helper? When placed on rare, Soul Blast 1, choose a card with Hero from your drop and put it into your base. That's something. And then the other thing was Combined Rusher, which is grade 2. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater, if there are 2 or more set orders in your order zone, gets plus 10k till end of battle. And then if it's in drop zone, when your set order is put to your order zone by being played from your hand, counterblast 1 and call it to rare. So you can use that in anything. That second one.
And the base just puts units in it, and you can
Yeah.
Like call them later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the first guy I mentioned was specifically for hero. That was like to illustrate. You have like your specific support, and then rush guy works in literally anything I've listed. And I feel like I'm forgetting. Are there any other Bright Gate like things that I'm missing?
I mean, there are just a ton of cards that are just like if you
Orphan-
have a set order, like Bobble Mine.
Yeah,
I think
Bubble Mine
Orphis
is another great example. Yeah,
Orphis is tragic enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least he's an anime archetype, so he'll get supported probably.
But yeah,
Always
that's what I'm
this
saying.
problem.
Like that's easier to do than with something like your Stoicheas, where just everything is all over the place. That
Yeah, the gimmick is all these clans attack a lot. Okay. Yep, that's right.
Unless you're Zorga.
Oh right, sorry, I forgot Zorga existed again.
because they're afraid. They're afraid to give Zorga their diet. Like, I mean, if they have a thing where you can like ride Zorga in battle phase, you could do the Corpse Doctor thing.
I'm surprised that there's still copium in reserve for Zorga.
Yeah,
People will never give up.
It looks cool. I'll give them that.
sure does.
And just any Grain Blue stands. That's like their no pun intended anchor.
Just play, Kyrie. Or, what else is good? Bastion Bruce. No, well, I don't know. Is Bastion still insane after the ban list, or?
I don't know if it's insane, but it's like it's a thing. I think
It could probably still murder you.
Yeah. Like Bruce could still do things.
I mean, Bruce didn't
Nirvana
get touched,
exists.
right? Bruce didn't get touched, right?
Nope.
No. I think just by having the virtue of not being live till turn 4, no matter what you do for the most part, like that is enough of a balancing act where other decks can like get in the aggregate and kill them that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, another thing that they can do through Stoicheia is that they have a lot of normal orders just because of Zorga. So you can have stuff that works around that. Like when you play this normal order,
Yeah. But the gimmick they decided with for the new TD is, what if your entire back row just boosts your Vanguard?
Yeah, boost it. Everything boosts at once. Which I can take or leave, but
You just want to be Dimension Police.
Yeah.
kind of.
I feel like I came up with this at one point as like a joke.
We got 6 years of records. Somebody
Yeah.
can go back there
I'm sure it might have been only a custom card episode or something. I'm sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have a vague recollection of it, but I could not tell you. I think it was when it would have been the episode near when ridelines were spoiled, or like the ride deck was spoiled. So it would have been around there, but I'm not gonna go back and check.
Yeah.
Me neither.
And apparently they're like increasing the gimmick of Nirvana because now it's going to have crossover dress.
What does that mean?
I have no idea, but apparently that's going to be the new ability for the new Nirvana.
So Revol dress is a different thing.
Yes.
Very good.
Crossover.
They just really like the word dress. They also did it for Trick Moon exactly.
Yeah.
That's true.
Crossover dress. So like RuPaul's Drag Race Vanguard Edition, or
I mean, like the new Nirvana has more noticeable curves than the old one.
oh my god.
That's true. That is true.
So, do you think that there is a better way to release promos where it's just not, they're not going to go up 8? Yeah.
The secret is just don't. Just put them in the set.
Yeah, like make room in the set. Like actually support your cards for more than like 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's super annoying because like some of them are generic enough that you can kind of make them work. Like Tamayura, as long as they keep releasing cards with stealth in their name or just like things that go into your soul, like Tamayura could just be accidentally playable. with like random support, the same way that like they accidentally support the Gria, but like something like Evo where you have a very specific play style, I don't know how that's supposed to go through without them actively supporting it. I mean, same thing with like Roa, where it needs like nothing but plant tokens.
Plant tokens are another thing that I have come around on, because when they had like the little ride line that does plant tokens, and then I was like, oh great, now you can like start planning things based on plant tokens. I think there's a lot of flexibility you can have there, just based on like playing against my friend who plays Neonectar, where he does some wacky shit.
Yeah, they don't have the support that Neonectar has.
No, but I'm saying that like you can support the concept of plant tokens and like token based play.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like they're not.
How does that mesh with the rest of Soikeia?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like the Roa's thing is very specifically working with tokens. Like he needs to retire tokens to gain his defensive power.
Mm.
So like they need very specifically like token support. Something like the Gria, she mostly works on her own. So like the stuff they're making for Youth Burke works with her, and also just like any generically good card they print for Keter that can kind of work with the Gria. Same thing with like Tamayura, where although she needs her dolls, she can also alternatively just call any one card out of your soul. So any generically good Dragon Empire card you can just kind of shove in that deck as support, in quotes. But then, Roa has this very specific play style where it kind of needs targeted support to function.
You can have things like, okay, so for example, there is they teased a card where it was end of turn, it can off itself, and then you get 2 plant tokens. And I feel like that's a good example of something where you can splash that in a lot of decks. Obviously, Roro would be the...
Yeah. This card is also a promo.
Yeah, I can. I'm not in favor of like doing it through promo. But I think that's really cool because like premium side trip here. You can playing this in Big Belly is very funny because you can, use it. End of turn, she kills herself. You get 2 tokens. Big Belly, you draw a card, and then those 2 tokens you can then do other great nature things with. Either blow it up with Ardillo or Kundalini, draw again, buff it up with Ardillo or not Ardillo, Balorol and the Pit, blow it up, draw more cards. I think that's cool. That's splashable in something like that, and I feel like you could have more cards that become tokens. Sorry, continue.
Like that doesn't really address what we were actually talking about though with standard. Like they are introducing. Yeah, I'm just the point I've been trying to make is like they're introducing like far more ride lines than they can possibly support, and these like Band-Aid promos aren't a very good way of dealing with that.
But I'm saying that you can use like things that make tokens and have that be.
We are having 2 different.
Yeah, we are having 2 completely different discussions, Atlas.
The topic. No, it's.
Yeah, I don't like. We're talking about standard right now. How like Roa kind of needs targeted support for himself because of his token-based mechanic, and so. Right now, they're releasing these promo cards to support it, but like that's not a great way to deal with that. And it's a lot harder for them to like accidentally print support that's good for him because of how targeted his mechanic is. Like you're talking about how token cards could be used in everything else, and what I'm trying to say is like it's harder for them to just make a generic card that works for Roa. Like you're kind of having the opposite. Like we're kind of having like the opposite discussion.
I don't know what the confusion is.
Yeah.
I guess the confusion is whether or not making the use of tokens more generic for Stoichia on the whole would then circle back around, or not.
That is something they could have done, but it's not something they've shown that they're going to do, right? And that would be not helpful for Magnolia, like on the onset, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also, like, as of right now, like, they're not really designing cards in the way that they can take advantage of the tokens, really. Because, like, I don't see how that really helps any of the deck. Like, maybe, what's Zorga, if you wanted to cope and you needed to, like, retire something off of your board, which I don't think he does. But, like...
like, I guarantee you if there was one who's like, end of battle, this attack, Soul Blast, retire this, get a token and give it to Zorga would play, because it's like, oh my god, 4th attack. Thank you. Anything. Like,
right? For real.
Yeah.
I think what would have been cool for Zorga if they would have made it like Alchemagic on attack.
Oh,
that'd be sick.
Then you can actually use the condensation to get another attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
There are a lot of things like Alchemagic or just how orders are played. We've discussed like the idea of allowing blitz orders to work more like quick play spells in Yu-Gi-Oh, where you just during either battle phase you can use them, not just your opponents.
I mean, they could have made a rear guard that like ban it, you could have this card work in a million different ways, but like let's just like have like a level 1 like version of this card, right? Some grade 2 on attack, pay some cost, doesn't matter. You could be discard a card, I don't care. Banish an order from your discard pile, cast it. Like Gain's effect.
Yeah.
Or like performance effect. Like, that'd be sick. Like, you could give 10k to your front row for discarding a card. That's true. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like. It's just I feel like there's like so many ways they could have gone with that, and they just did not, and instead went for lots of very boring cards. But I think Magic does promos the best way, or at least classically did. They started messing this up at some point, but back when I was playing Magic, promos were always like alternate arts for like full art versions of cards. And so like every card you could get was printed in a set. It would be foil, but the foil was like just like in the same set, but like it was always non-foil in the same set. So like any card could be foil. Oh, but there's also the non-foil, like the default. And then they might release a promo that's like a special foil or like a full art or whatever. So that there's always like a reason to want the promos because they're cool full arts. But there's kind of like the Japanese card games have done this thing where they just kind of do promos in various places, which is supposed to like get people to play events. But in the United States, I think this works a little worse because we're so spread out. So a number of events that you can possibly attend is going to be much more limited. And it's going to take a long time.
Consider.
It's going to take a long time to get the promos you might need, especially if they're shop tournament promos or something of the sort.
Yeah, and also like a lot of the time they don't even import these promos in a timely manner. Like who knows when we're going to get this card?
Yeah. So like we might not even be getting these till early next year, right?
Yeah.
To people who don't understand, there's a little man called Pursuit Assault I would like you to meet.
I mean, Dear Days might be like a temporary solution, at least for standard.
Sure.
In what sense?
It's a digital card game, so it should just have all the promos.
That's true.
I've thought about this a fair bit, and I think that Japan has a lot of like card games that are very alive. And I think it comes down to geography, right? That you have more people closer together that are playing this game, and it's pretty easy for people to travel because of public transit.
Walkable cities, like I
play these games. United States, you have to get lucky. There has to be a pocket of people willing to play this game, or you have to like get people to play this game.
Oh man, I should reach out to Not Just Bikes or Oath Your Vanity and be like, non-walkable cities are killing card games. Video about
it. I'm sure that's on the front of their mind, like card games.
Sure, no, totally.
And then, I guess aside from like the fact that they're just supporting these under-supported archetypes entirely via promos right now. Although I guess they've been putting like a bunch of random sorceress cards in the set too.
Sick.
I don't know. I'd be okay if it was like, okay, shop promo, and then like if they do, they do their reprint set once a year, and they've been pretty good about like, all right, Pursuit Assault was a pretty important promo, came in the reprint.
Their reprints have been kind of hit or miss though. They kind of do that every time.
I need a foil mecha instructor.
I can appreciate that, like, they're at least making some sort of effort, just not always the correct way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know, but how far does that go, right?
Not sure. Hell, even if they just had like, it'd be interesting if they had a seller like that was Bushiroad's thing, and they just sold singles, promos specifically, like through their website. That'd probably be a little weird. But
yeah, they're probably never gonna like officially start selling singles just because of like
want to buy sealed products.
Yeah, sealed products, but also like gambling laws. Because if they officially recognize that like the cards have this inherent value, and not just be like, oh, every pack is worth $5. It doesn't matter if you have like a triple rare or a rare in your pack. Then that could be problematic for them.
That's not something I considered. Good point.
Yeah. I heard that discussion coming up when talking about like MMOs and loot boxes and stuff like that. And they were talking about Magic the Gathering, but like it kind of applies to like all card games where they're probably never going to officially recognize the secondary market. Like they do it in the way that they make like reprints and stuff, but like the logic still stands of like, well, we're just printing these cards and these packs are all worth the same thing.
Yeah, well, because there's that like plausible deniability, right? We're like, this just we've seen these at tournaments a lot.
Yeah,
there's another print, right? Like there's like that legal jargon, whatever, that they can just be like, "What secondary market? I don't."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is that too. Anyways, aside from like the promo thing, they've also been doing this thing where like they're power creeping the TD cards by just like introducing better versions, in their words, I get.
So the way I understand it is that the TDs are kind of like for like people starting the game, and then like if you want to build the deck, you just get cards from the set.
Yeah. So how do we feel about that?
Does that mean the TDs are just you don't buy them at all? Or do you need stuff out of those TDs?
I don't know, because like obviously like they're doing the thing where they're introducing like the trainer cards where they just like, this is how boost works, and then
I see.
But they're also doing a thing where like they have the grade 3 in the set that's like a simplified version, like all of them. So like Protofall Arms for Youthberg, it just has a rearguard skill that if you place a grade 3 this turn, it gets 5k. And then you have Skyfall, which is like the set version where it has the same Revoldress ability, so the main gimmick is still the same, but instead of a generic 5k on rearguard, it gets an act ability where you can discard from your hand and look at your top 3, you choose one Revolt form card, and then choose another grade 2 or less and call it, and then put the last one at the bottom of your deck. And just like, are you ever going to actually play the one that's just a generic 18k beater over Skyfall that, searches and calls a card?
No way, right?
Yeah.
Unless you need to like double up for whatever reason.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like all of them also have this clause where they're regarded as their main set versions.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't even play 8. You just can only play 4.
Oh, sorry. When it would be rode upon, so you can like persona ride with them. So they're effectively treating them as the same card for the purposes of gameplay, but like the main set version just has a clearly better skill. So like, how do we feel about that? Like, obviously the TDs are meant to get people into the game, and the logic they cited was that these are going to be simplified versions of the cards that are easier to understand versus the main set one.
What it seems like to me is that the TDs are not for people who are already playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're already playing the game, I think you just ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
And you just basically build a deck out of the set like you would normally do.
Yeah.
I guess is what they want.
That's fine. I mean, like, if your goal is to, get more people into the game and get them to stay, that kind of thing. Like the, TD01, like the first overdress ones were very good at getting people into that. Everybody doing this reboot, the second reboot, and B, just like new people in the game. Like, we had a lot of people just starting Vanguard from scratch with overdress, and I think that they plan to continue it like this and just turn it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure how I feel about having essentially the same card but just better in the set. Like, because with the old starter decks from the beginning of D, like, those were the anchors of your deck. You just built around them. Where it seems like if you wanted to transition from the trial deck to like a more competitive version of that same deck, you have to buy the sets now.
I think the easiest way to do it, if you're trying to get your friend into it, buy the 2 TDs, use that to teach them.
I mean, you don't even need to buy 2 TDs anymore. We haven't needed 2 TDs for anything in Vanguard for ages.
No, he means like one for you, one for them.
I see.
Yeah. So buy your 2 TDs. They're interested. Then you go, okay, this is bunk. Here's the better version. Like, it's a bit of a mind fuck, I think, but
yeah.
Like, instead of like, your friend would have to get into the game anyway, and short of like just handing them a deck and being like, here.
Yeah.
I think it's a way to teach deck building without really teaching deck building.
I just think that this is for a very narrow audience, which we are so far removed from.
True.
Because, like, what these TDs aren't even for people who are new to Vanguard. These are for people who are new to card games. I think if anyone has had a lot of card game experience, Vanguard is going to be really simple. I think it's just not for us, and that's okay, right? But it just means that we just be like, oh, yep, those exist, and I guess you can get triggers from them, I guess. But otherwise, I'm just gonna get what I need from the set and then move on.
Yeah, that is true. Like, I do like, the tutorial cards where it's like where it's like explaining how card mechanics work, just because that makes life a lot easier when you're teaching a new person. So I do really like that. I'm just like not a huge fan of the idea of like you have your TD, and then if you wanted to get someone into the game for real, they basically just throw the TD away and buy the set.
Right.
Like I guess you still have like the actual ride line, and that's like the only thing.
I know that for like people to play Vanguard, both like who don't have TCG experience and those that do. And I think because like I tried to teach my girlfriend how to play, and that blew up in my face. But she doesn't have that like base of TCG, and I think if I'm going to try again, I'm going to do it with this because it's probably going to be easier to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think they're just not for us, and that's okay.
Yeah. No big.
We just have to just not imagine them as like trying to like build up a deck from a TD. It's just like it's not like the old TDs, right? Where you're like, oh, you have to buy 2 or 4 of these to build your deck, and it's just like just don't have to worry about them at all.
Thankfully, they stopped doing that with V.
Thank God.
Yeah.
The buying 4 Daikaiser structure decks that have 4 Daikaisers and just a pile of bunk commons was a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I said, 4 Gausha. That was the first TD to come with a not vanilla 6K starter.
Yu-Gi-Oh had that problem too for a while, didn't it? Where you got to buy 3 of the.
I think you still have to buy 3.
You do still? Damn. Konami.
When was the last time? Yeah, but when was the last time Yu-Gi-Oh released an actual like starter deck that wasn't like a structure?
Okay, but like, but yeah, well, what they do now is they put like one card in there that's like a reprint that people want. So like a good example is the Cyberdark structure deck had infinite impermanence.
Yeah, there you go.
So people want that.
Or either that, or it's
the
like
All Boss one has like a bunch of pot cards in it.
Yeah, or it's like fucking amazing, like the dinosaur one. That one really turned some heads at the time.
But yeah, we don't have anything like the Monarch structure deck, which is just like a full deck basically.
Yeah.
Maybe we will one day.
Pretty good when you have floodgates as your field spell, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we had the legend decks, which were like the closest thing we ever got, or like the special Daigo sets.
I forgot that existed actually.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Felt like a fever dream. Does that make sense?
I still don't even know who this person is.
Me neither.
I only remember these Daigo sets because I just finished a video about Sword Me.
Fair enough.
My god, it's Daigo. Okay.
Sure.
It's got a good limit break guy, but dragon dude. I don't know who Daigo is, but
yeah,
cool.
Was Sanctuary Guard even good in limit break? I feel like it didn't really see play until like G era because you could just cheese with it.
It's because
it wasn't until they got the Blaster Blade crit, right?
Yeah. No, people also played Sanct Guard with Sword Me. That's why they gave that weird ruling. Yeah,
did you have the Blaster crit with Sword Me?
No, that was like 3 steps after.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the whole reason it like took off was because it was like you said during the 7 Seas video that
no, Sanct Guard was relevant before that with Sword Me.
But I mean,
it was relevant twice.
You mentioned it offhand, where it was like a way to get around the GB thing.
Yeah,
to do Sword Me Sanct Guard stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about the old. I'm so like only remembering the Blaster Sanct Guard variants that I just cannot remember the Jewel Knight versions. I remember them playing a bunch of Jewel Knight triggers because you needed a special Jewel Knight counterblast for various reasons.
Yep, because this was from that point in time where they decided that was a good idea.
It sure was. And then
the funniest part is that we were there for all of this.
You guys were there for all of that. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I just know more about it because I'm making videos about it at this particular moment.
It's been a long time. I forgot a lot of stuff from back then.
Yeah.
Been a long time.
Because after they did the special restriction on Sword Me, it fell off for a little bit and then came back.
Yeah, during GBT6 when they introduced all the blaster stuff.
And they're like, "Oh, you just play with blasters." And then they got the grade 1 that like calls like a bunch of shit. Maybe it was a grade 2 that called something. I don't remember what its name was. I cannot remember.
I vaguely remember what like Sanct Guard Blaster looks like.
It was like a grade 2 7K or something. I cannot remember its name.
Okay, I can go look it up because Sanct Guard Blaster took 2nd place during 2016 or 3rd place in 2016 after 2 7-runner decks.
There's like some like rear guard that's like a +2 in that deck for some reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for it. We're just gonna talk about this now. I think it was Sage of Salvation Benin. So like it's a grade 2 AK, Counterblast 1 when it's placed. You can pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for a 6,000 power, call it to rear guard in the same column, and then I believe the thing you looked for was Miron. So when it's placed, Soul Blast 1, draw a card. So you just got like a 14k column and a draw.
Yep. And it's a grade 1, which is good for later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that card's stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Well, because it was like because every paladin had something, right? Because you had Benon for Royals, you had a Swordbreaker for Shadows, and then what was the gold one?
The bunny.
The bunny is like the V version, but
the bunny was the original one for. I cannot remember.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because it was just one place from deck.
Right. Soul Blast 1 draw card. Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't remember its name, but I remember that card.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that thing.
Oh yeah, and then they also had Blaster Friend Barkle. That was just a free counter blast or free counter charge when you put Blaster Blade in the same column.
That's true.
Yeah, that always
Thankguard Blaster was a silly deck.
Yeah, that deck was real good.
Mm-hmm. And then it fell off because they just printed more Blaster support, and then you just played an actual Blaster deck.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right,
it was good enough for it was good enough for a while.
Yep.
Yeah. Where were we?
Did they also hit the stride at some point too, right?
Did they? I don't know.
The Vanguard stride? The Strength Vanguard stride. They hit that at one point, right?
Did they? I don't know, because Bushiroad makes it impossible to find banned lists.
I thought I could have sworn Regali was banned at some point.
I have no idea.
Restricted or something of the sort.
Well, let's see. This deck in 2016 was only on 2 Regalia, but I don't know if that's just like because there were other strides to play or because it was limited.
Yeah, Holy Dragon, Sanctuary Guard, Regali.
I could have sworn that card got like put to 1 or something.
Once per turn. During your turn, if you have a hard card or Sanctuary, all the units in your front row get plus 3k for each grade 1 or less rear guard. I don't know if they... We must look real stupid right now.
Yeah.
Sound at Nexus at Night on Twitter.
If you remember 2015 to 2016 Vanguard.
Yeah, dude, remember, this is 7 years ago, and I have had several seizures in between then and now, so I can't...
I wasn't playing the game the first time Sankguard was relevant.
Hold on. I have I have something here.
Yeah.
I don't... so this is a recent enough thing where there's like videos on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you know.
All right, cool.
Why don't we?
It was okay. So Regali was on the like watch list. Sorry, that was it.
Watch list. Okay.
So they never actually. Yeah, because I was like, I don't remember this card ever being banned.
Unless it got banned later, but I'm not gonna look forever. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but as far as I can remember, they never touched Sankguard Blaster. It just kind of fell off on its own.
Yeah.
And just regular Blaster. Well, I hope this whole episode gave you a lot to think about. Leave a like, leave a comment at Nexus at Night on Twitter or Instagram. Patreon.com/Nexus at Night if you want to support the show. Thanks to Darren, Cole, Josh, and Jeremy for being $10 patrons. We got merch, we got playmats. How about the rest of us?
You can find me on Twitter at Wiggums, 2Gs, 2Zs. Good luck this weekend if you're playing in BRO Premium.
Yeah. That's true, yes.
Can't wait to... you can find me at Plasma Eclipse. I can't wait to go X3 drop.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. You can find me at Atlas Novak, Twitter, Instagram, or follow my other podcast at Generation Dan on Twitter, at Generation_Dan on Instagram. New episodes every Thursday. Like Matt said, good luck to everybody in BRO Premium. I'm going to be there. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'm signed up. Gonna go 03.
Literally only playing premium because I have these.
X3 drop. Let's go.
I am playing our glorious leader, Rising Nova.
Nice.
I am playing the dinos. I'm doing Tachi's.
Fair enough.
Did well for me last time, and I am in some kind of identity crisis with Great Nature right now. So
yeah,
fair enough.
I don't know. I don't think the premium meta changed that much with the new strides.
I don't think it did much either. I think the things that got better is
were things that were already good.
Things that were already good. They just kind of have new tools. Like you have Gelatinous Blob Monster and Narukami's new thing. And Order Colony. Order Colony's going to do that thing where after they get hit, they're going to like try, and we'll see if they can still,
Yeah. I've seen like 12 different lists for Mega Colony running around.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if this is a thing like Teledad syndrome. Like when they hit Teledad, they would like just keep trying. Like we can make it work.
I mean, it kept basically working.
Yeah, for a while, like from Dad Return up until like I don't know, a while after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're gonna it like doesn't work anymore. So
thank
everybody for listening, and until next week, I was Atlas.
I'm still Matt.
I'm Root Beer.